Picture this. You walk out to the yard on a beautiful day, flip the power switch, and you're fully expecting to hear that familiar, reassuring rush of water. But instead, you are greeted by a deep, ominous humming sound, and literally nothing is moving. It's an incredibly frustrating experience, and honestly, almost every homeowner faces it at some point. Your mind probably jumps straight to the worst-case scenario, thinking you're going to have to shell out hundreds of dollars for a brand new system. But before you panic, we are going to walk through exactly what's happening under the hood. Okay, let's dive into this structured explainer, where we'll use a clear, step-by-step triage to diagnose and hopefully cure your humming pump.
Here is our exact diagnostic tree to systematically eliminate the usual suspects. First, we'll look at the dangerous humming sound itself. Second, mechanical jams and blockages. Third, testing the start capacitor. Fourth, voltage and motor bearings. And finally, preventing future pump failures. We're going to cover both the mechanical and electrical fixes, so you'll be completely covered.
All right, phase 1, that dangerous humming sound. When you hear that awful noise, you need to know that the clock is actively ticking. It is absolutely crucial that you don't just leave the pump running, hoping it's going to magically fix itself. So why exactly is the pump humming? Well, let's look at the physics for a second. Inside a single-phase asynchronous motor, electrical current flows into the stator windings to create a rotating magnetic field. But if the rotor, which is the part that actually spins, is physically stuck and can't move, all that electrical energy has nowhere to go. It just vibrates at a low frequency of 60 Hz, giving you that distinct, alarming buzz. More importantly, because no mechanical work is getting done, all of that pent-up electrical energy instantly converts into excess heat. If you don't cut the power quickly, this heat will literally melt the insulation right off the copper windings, causing a severe short circuit that will completely destroy your motor.
But hey, take a deep breath. I actually have some great news for you. Looking at industry maintenance data from the National Swimming Pool Foundation, we can see that over 60% of these humming issues are caused by just two super easily fixable culprits: seasonal debris clogging up the system or a degraded start capacitor. That means there's a really strong chance you can resolve this today without replacing the whole entire unit. The remaining 40% points to more advanced electrical or bearing failures, which we're also going to cover. But let's cross our fingers you fall into that lucky 60%.
Moving on to step 2 in our triage, mechanical jams and blockages.
We always want to start the investigation by checking for physical obstructions, mainly because it's the easiest fix. To set up a mental map for what we're doing, we need to contrast our two main suspect categories. On one side, you have mechanical obstructions. This means something physical is stopping the spin. Think of small pebbles, pine needles, acorns jammed in the impeller, or maybe a buildup of hard calcium scale and rust inside the pump chamber. On the other side, we have electrical failures. This means the motor is physically capable of spinning, but it doesn't have the correct electrical power or the right jump start to actually get going, like a dead capacitor or a massive voltage drop. To keep things simple, we always eliminate the mechanical side first.
So here are the exact steps to clear a mechanical jam. Step 1 is absolutely non-negotiable. Go turn off all power at the main breaker to make sure you're totally safe. Step 2, open the pump lid. Pull out the basket and carefully reach into the eye of the impeller to feel around for any debris. Step 3 is the real diagnostic test. You need to manually spin the motor shaft. You can usually do this by taking off the rear fan cover or by sliding a heavy-duty screwdriver through the back vents. As you turn it, I want you to pay very close attention to the tactile feel. Does it glide with a smooth, effortless rotation? Or is there a harsh, gritty, grinding resistance? If it feels like it's fighting you, you've found your blockage. If you clear it and the shaft breaks free to spin smoothly, congratulations, you've probably just saved your pump.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it brings us to step 3, testing the start capacitor.
So let's say you did that manual spin test and the shaft rotated perfectly freely, but when you flip the power back on, the motor still just sits there humming. That tells us the mechanics are completely fine and we are definitely dealing with an electrical issue. Let's define our prime electrical suspect. A start capacitor is a small cylindrical device that creates a phase shift in the electrical current. Why does it need to do this? Because a single-phase motor cannot actually create a rotating magnetic field on its own from a dead stop. It desperately needs a massive initial kick. You can think of the capacitor as acting exactly like a temporary, high-voltage battery. It stores up energy and delivers a concentrated jumpstart to overcome the heavy inertia of that stationary rotor. If this temporary battery dies, the motor just sits there, pulsing and humming, trying its hardest to move but completely lacking the strength. Testing the capacitor requires strict adherence to safety protocols. I really cannot stress this enough. These little devices can store lethal amounts of electricity, even long after the pump is unplugged. Step 1. Double and triple check that all power is totally disconnected at the breaker. Step 2. Open the housing and visually inspect the capacitor. Step 3 is incredibly vital. Before you even think about touching it with your bare hands, you must discharge it. Put on some protective gloves and bridge the two metal terminals using a screwdriver with a thick insulated handle. This safely releases any stored charge. Only after doing that do we move to step 4, which is measuring the capacitance, measured in microfarads, or MFD, using a multimeter.
Now, let's talk about how to read those diagnostic test results. A good capacitor will perfectly match the nominal microfarad weighting printed right on its label. If your multimeter shows a drop of more than 15% from that nominal capacity, the part is dead and you have to replace it. Also, if you test the resistance, a healthy capacitor's resistance will drop and then steadily climb back up on your meter screen. A bad capacitor will just sit at 0 or show a constant, unchanging resistance. Physically speaking, if you look at it and see any bulging at the top, cracks in the casing, or dark fluid leaking out, honestly, you don't even need a meter. That capacitor is totally toast. The good news? Replacing it is both cheap and easy.
Okay, moving to phase 4, voltage and motor bearings.
So what happens if your capacitor checks out perfectly and the shaft spins freely by hand? We now have to escalate our investigation to the final tier of suspects. First up, electrical starvation. Low voltage prevents the motor from generating enough magnetic force to pull the rotor into a spin, leaving it helplessly stuck in that pulsing hum. This is incredibly common in temporary or seasonal setups, especially where people use long, thin extension cords. You see, running high amounts of current through a thin, long wire creates a massive voltage drop. Your motor might be begging for 115 volts, but by the time the electricity actually travels down 100 feet of thin cord, it might only be receiving 100 volts. It's going to hum, it's going to overheat, and it will eventually fail. Always make sure you're using proper gauge wiring.
But what if, when you did your manual spin test earlier, the shaft wasn't just a little gritty? What if it was completely immovable, like you couldn't even turn it with a wrench? That points to seized internal motor bearings. The definitive signs of bearing failure actually tend to start way before the hum. You might have noticed a high-pitched metallic squealing over the past few weeks. If you grab the shaft and feel vertical or horizontal play, like a wobbling sensation, those bearings are shot. And you know the number one cause of this? A degraded, leaking shaft seal. Chlorinated or mineral-heavy water leaks right past that seal, directly into the front bearing, rapidly oxidizing the metal until it just rusts completely solid.
That brings us to our final section, preventing future pump failures.
Diagnosing the issue is great, but proactive maintenance is how we actually keep your pump running for its typical 5 to 8 year lifespan. To maintain optimal system health, you really need to build these vital habits. First, clean your pump and skimmer baskets daily during peak season. This stops the pebbles and debris from causing those exact mechanical jams we just talked about. Second, always use a dedicated 20-amp electrical circuit with the correct wire gauge to prevent those motor-killing voltage drops. Third, make sure you do proper winterization. Freezing water left inside a pump casing expands, and it will literally shatter your internal impellers. Finally, and arguably most importantly, be proactive about hidden components like your shaft seals.
I want to end our explainer with this thought, which comes straight from the maintenance professionals. A $20 shaft seal can prevent a $400 motor failure. Seriously, think about that for a second. We so often ignore the tiny, cheap components until they fail catastrophically and take the big, expensive machinery down with them. By doing an annual check of your seals, protecting your capacitor from extreme weather, and keeping those baskets clear, you take total control over the health of your system. So, I leave you with this question to chew on. When was the last time you actually checked the components protecting your motor? Take 10 minutes this weekend to take a look. You might just save yourself a massive headache and a whole lot of money. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy maintaining.